K. Fill in the middle with a name. It's Carlos and Ryan, and we know that you're dying to hear what we have to say today. I say we hear what we have to say today. It's the blank. Fill it in. Fill it in. Fill it in. Yeah.
Recording in progress. Los, we live.
I heard you. Young world, what is good? I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ryan.
And this is The Blank with Carlos and Ryan. How are you, Ryan?
Are you sad today or something, man?
No, man. Just getting in the mellow zone, baby.
Definitely not like as enthusiastic as our other intros, you know? Where it's like,
it was just a bummy day outside is all, it's snowing and I'm away from you. I could not hear any of the drumming, thank God, so that's
what? Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Man, fuck this mic, man.
Okay.
Damn it, man. That's okay.
So how are you?
Good. Can't complain, Happy Thursday, everybody.
Yeah.
I definitely just wanted to kind of say that first off because it's my line here. But happy Thursday to everybody who's joining for another week and another episode. Happy Friday to you if you do happen to be listening.
I am.
I was gonna get to that.
You don't
Carlos, man.
You know
what? I'm gonna blame it on the weather. I think the weather's fucking us up. But as you can see, Carlos and I are both in separate rooms today, unfortunately. Just due to some wild weather outside that we're having. But aside from that, Carlos, how you doing? How you doing?
To be perfectly honest, it's none of your fucking business, to be honest.
All right.
But I guess I'll answer it anyway. I'm all right. Work was decent. Nothing too crazy. But this I thought that we were over the storm, but it's still a coming, man. Storm's still rising. And why do you always do this whenever it has to do with weather?
Because, man, he's trying to make it rain.
You are something else. You are something.
Trying to soak it up.
Oh my God. And if everybody doesn't know that can't see, Ryan is wearing a necklace. Now he looks more so like a communist. I mean, a hippie. Explain where'd you get it? Where'd you get it?
So the necklace in itself. Thank you for noticing, Carlos. By the way, it was given to me by my lovely girlfriend, and it's supposedly a cat's eye necklace, whatever that means.
It's made of cat's eyeballs?
No, but that'd be fucking wild, though.
That'd be disgusting. You trick them with catnip. It's like, here, boy, that's a cat. Grab their eyeballs and then run away.
Knock this cat out, man.
There you go. This will make a great necklace.
No, I think there's like a certain like rock or something like that out in the world, and then you polish it. It ends up it's supposed to look like a cat's eye.
Okay.
But this one, I guess you can't really see too much of it from the camera. But yeah, no, it was a lovely present.
Okay. You don't have dreads under that hat now, do you? Play hacky sack outside.
No, I'm definitely still bald.
All right, just checking.
Definitely still bald.
I don't want to go over there now and then you end up smelling like pee or something. I'm insulting a lot of hippies right now. Sorry, you hippies. Carry on with your day. Carlos loves everyone. But yeah,
Thursday. You know what that means? It's podcast time.
See, the crazy thing about your mic right now, it just cut out like halfway through that acapella.
Because because this magic you just can't record. You gotta, keep it for yourself, baby. Keep it for yourself. Oh yes. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Ryan, how's your day?
Carlos,
Yeah.
it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
I got to wake up today, breathe some
Jesus.
fresh air.
Okay, Kirk Franklin. Can we move on to the next thing? Let's discuss recent news.
Cup of coffee, can't complain, man. You know how many people in the world can't have coffee in the morning?
What? Well, lucky for them. Thank goodness. I don't drink coffee.
How do you not drink coffee?
What? I'm not. What?
I don't know how people don't drink coffee. I think
I
coffee is like
coffee.
absolutely wonderful.
I don't get the hype about it. Why do you like to drink coffee? Why do you hate Canada so much?
I love Canada.
Then why do you drink coffee?
Oh, it's just it's a wonderful drink. It's just something about it. I guess you get like a little bit of a caffeine to wake you up, and just the taste of it and the smell of it. There was
spoken like a real addict, man.
I live in this apartment building, and I was taking out the garbage one day or something like that, and I was walking down the hallway, and I guess somebody from one of the other units has like an espresso machine, or like they're grinding up coffee beans or something like that, but you could smell it throughout the whole hallway. It was fucking wild. And like I feel like that shit's heavenly.
And then you just bang on the door, just like, hey, get the shit out. Smelling up the goddamn building. Yeah, that's you, Ryan. Oh dear.
We gotta get some coffee in your life, Carlos. It's absolutely wonderful.
Well, you're talking to me as if you're trying to convert me to this new religion or something. Sure. Like it's not gonna change. Like, I don't get it, dude. I don't get the hype. Like I've had it. I'm just like, But that's I'm sorry. Me and pumpkin spice lattes don't mix, man. What can I say? Is that a coffee?
Pumpkin? I guess it is. I guess there's some sort of like caffeine within pumpkin spice lattes. I feel like the pumpkin spice lattes are more of the, there's a stigma around it of like
being for white girls.
Yeah, exactly.
Blonde white girls.
That like Starbucks. Yeah. Like that kind of shit.
Snow bunnies, if you will.
I guess if you want to call them that, sure.
But I mean, but who else do you see drink? Like, do you know?
I've tried it.
You are a blonde white girl.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
Is that insulting?
No, not at all. Kidding me? Love it.
Although he has the Cambodian exterior, internally, Ryan is just a blonde white girl, just like anyone else. You like what's the name of that country guy? Luke James or Luke Paul?
Luke Combs.
Jake Paul. What's his name?
Jake Paul. Mr. Luke Combs. Luke Combs, my friend. Tim McGraw. My homies.
Okay.
I was in my early 40s.
Yeah.
With a lot of life before me.
Yeah.
And for those,
I thought you were gonna finish.
For those who know that song, please hit us up because I fucking love that song.
Why would they hit? I don't want you to. If you hit us up, I'll report you and task your Instagram or whatever page that you hit us up on to block you.
Tim McGraw, man, some of like the classic country, like from like I don't even know when that song was made. I think it was probably the 90s or the 80s or 90s or something like that. Good song though.
So how do you convince one to enjoy country music?
It's just soulful, man.
It's soulful?
Like, there's something about the soul. So
what about soul?
Well, it's like the soul from a countryman.
The soul from a countryman?
There was this the other day. I was sitting on the couch and I actually just bought a new Google Chromecast.
Oh, nice.
For fun. And I was watching like YouTube videos and listening to music and stuff like that. And I was talking to my roommate and my girlfriend at the time, and I put on this song, and it's called "In a Walmart Parking Lot." I forget exactly who it's by, but it's like this country singer, I think from like the early 2000s. And I remember them just hearing it for the first time, and I think the chorus, it's something like, "And we sure did do a lot in that Walmart parking lot," or something like that. And the guy goes on and starts talking about like drinking beers and like making out and all this kind of crap in a Walmart parking lot. So the guy had to make a song about it. But my point is that it's his soul in that song, you know?
Mm. And then when you describe that to your girlfriend, how long after did she break up with you?
Oh, I'm solo in this apartment.
Oh, that's
they both left.
oh, the roommate too. Well, that's what happens. That's the moral of today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. You listen to country, you will get rid of everyone
you will
you've
end
ever
up
loved.
alone. Yeah, you'll end up alone.
You will die alone. That is what we want to. That's the message we're trying to convey here on the blank. Listen to country, die alone. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
It's an automatic die alone.
There it is. There it is. Okay, let's just look at what are you doing now? You're taking off the glasses.
I take it off, man. I was like pinching my like
your
eyes
dreads
or something. Yeah, something like that.
Okay. All right, let's move on to recent news. Why, you want to talk about something else? We can talk.
No. I think the recent news is great.
No, if you want to talk more about country, we can have this intervention to convince you to not listen to it anymore. It's all good.
Ryan, everyone's gonna leave you.
Yeah,
including me.
Like, dude, we all will leave you. You understand? But hey, if you want to keep listening to it, man, that's up to you. That's up to you. Hey, what do you want me to do? I try to convince you. And you still want to listen to that shit. I will say though, my brother was a security guard at I believe it was a Luke Combs concert. I could be mistaken, but it was a big country star, and he brought like guests. He said that it was the most attractive. Like he said, the room was filled with the most attractive white women he's ever seen in his entire life. He said
like, is it Europe in here or what?
Yeah, that's what's going on. Am I in the wrong side of town? Holy shit. He was joking around with a friend of his, and he's like, "God damn, bro, it's a blizzard in here. There's nobody's everywhere."
Oh my god.
You look like you're ready for a country concert right now, actually.
Yeah, man.
You went from being a hippie to like...
Yeah, no, I just...
pulling up to a Walmart parking lot.
Pull up to a Walmart parking lot.
So they take a good look at you like, are you in the right parking lot, son?
Pull out a shotgun. Let's look out of here.
Oh,
and no offense to anybody who likes to chill in Walmart parking lots. I'm sure they're fun.
Or the country, man. But you have to agree, you're all racist.
Oh my god. Carlos decided to wake up today and
I chose violence.
incite violence on our podcast today.
Man, I'm just trying to cancel this, man. Oh god. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Recent news. Kanye and Julia Fox broke up. Do you even know
the new lady he's with?
The new lady, yeah.
I keep seeing these pictures of her wearing like all jean, like the Canadian tuxedo.
That's a popular picture of her.
The Canadian tuxedo suit that they have, or something like that.
Little eye shadowy thing.
Yeah, it's like all over like every news outlet that I watch, or if I'm on like, I go type in like MSN.com or Bing or something like that, it'll show up. I didn't know they broke up though. But...
Why do you use those sites? Why can't you use Google? How long have you been in ISIS? Jeez,
Fucked up.
Oh man.
And for anybody who's thinking about joining it, please don't.
What, ISIS?
Yeah, please don't.
I look at their pamphlets first to see, what benefits they have. You never know.
I'm assuming that I wonder if they do have pamphlets, those guys.
ISIS?
It reminds me of there's like the Simpsons episode where Homer's kind of walking through the airport and there's all these different like religions trying to offer him pamphlets
Yeah.
or something like that. Can you imagine like walking through an airport and then getting like a pamphlet from like ISIS or something?
It's like, oh yes, death to America. How are you today? Like,
Oh my God, Carlos, man.
just going over the pamphlet here, just like, we want to kill the president, and oh geez.
I guess we can't get really get canceled by ISIS fans. That's for sure.
Wow, what are we gonna do? What is ISIS gonna do with all 20 of our viewers?
But in this case, man, that's fucked up. Kanye's
Yeah.
having a rough time, from what I've been hearing.
Yeah, he's going through it. He's going through it a little bit. He's been going at Pete Davidson for quite some time now, because
Okay.
Pete is in fact dating Kim Kardashian. What can I say, man? Pete and Kim, they hit it off, and now they're still going.
Pete Davidson, man, killing it.
man.
This guy's been everywhere and around the world.
He's all from SNL, man. We got to join that show. We're not doing it right, because clearly once you join SNL, you just
It's over.
you make it, man. And dude who had a Super Bowl commercial.
Oh yeah,
Damn,
that was
huh?
huge.
His track record too is like second to none, man. He's been with Ariana Grande, Kate Beckinsale. She's gorgeous.
From Click.
Gorgeous. Yes.
I remember that movie. That was a good movie.
Great movie. Now Kim Kardashian. He's had a few others, but I forget. But still, man, Pete Davidson, man. You think he's got the magic stick?
Definitely does.
Yeah.
100%.
Or he just knows how to talk to women.
He's got the magic stick.
You perverted freak.
Was it I was gonna say Candy Shop. Speaking of 50, he was in the Super Bowl.
Two separate songs. But yes, 50 was at the Super Bowl. Oh, I guess we can talk about the Super Bowl. The Los Angeles Rams are your 2022 Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, that was a huge game.
That was a big game. It got close.
Yeah.
So I mean, Cincinnati, it sucks. They never won a chip, but they'll get there. I think Joe Burrows will bring them back for sure.
I think one of the craziest things that came from the Super Bowl was the halftime show, and like to bring all of those artists, into the halftime show to entertain and stuff like that. And definitely the weekends from last year was wild, but this one was just
incredible.
like super dope.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you've ever had that many like big time artists like on one stage.
All on one stage.
Like that, you know what I mean? And it was a huge deal. But the crazy thing was after the fact, I don't know if they were fake because you can't really trust the internet nowadays. But there's so many like old people tweeting about like how there's like, why are they putting rappers on stage? And I think some like politician came out and was like, Dr. Dre has like an assault charge. Why do we have criminals doing the halftime show? Like that kind of shit. And I think that's like the sad part about it. It's like, man, what are you guys even talking about? Like,
well, you want to know why they're upset? Because they listen to country. They listen to country, and they're alone.
They're all alone in the country.
Yeah. You know what? They couldn't get tickets to the Super Bowl, so where do they watch it? In a Walmart parking lot. Because that's what their life is about. That is what their life is about now. Well, I mean, I get it. Like, you're an old timer, and you're used to your kind of music. I'm sure back in the day, people were upset that Michael Jackson was performing at the Super Bowl halftime show, whereas they really wanted like Neil Diamond or like who's a really extremely white artist, Barry Manilow, or what's Tom Jones. Imagine that.
Tom Jones. I would like to watch a Tom Jones halftime show. That'd be pretty sick. Or the Polish Prince, man, Bobby Vinton.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, no, I'm okay with that. Well, I mean, yeah, just like when it's. I mean, it was bound to happen. You have to understand.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised it didn't happen any like years earlier. considering the genre. So I mean, I guess it's just gonna be some time before we ever see like a dude like Drake perform. Wait, Travis Scott was a guest appearance at the Super Bowl, wasn't he?
Like
With
as
Maroon
like
5.
this one.
No, no, not this one. The previous Super Bowl. He did. He did do the Super Bowl before. He did, and that was a big one. That was a well. It was with him and Maroon 5, which
Oh,
was
that's big. Yeah.
yeah. So that was an interesting one. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. These old timers need to get with the program. I get it. There's a few things where I feel old timey about, but I'm not really a fan of the hip hop music that's on today. I mean, what you just got to get with the program. That's what people are listening to. You don't have to listen to it with everything that's going on streaming wise. You can always listen to your stuff. You always have that stuff to go back to. You can even discover tracks you've never even heard of. That's what the internet's for, baby. Not to dive too much in our topic today, but whatever. That's it. Deal with it. These are the times. It's a new generation, baby. That's all I gotta say to you, old timers. But yeah, 50 Cent looking like a full dollar now. Is that the meme right now?
Was that what
Yeah,
it was? Oh,
yeah.
I didn't see any of
Because
those, but
he gained a bit in size. And I'm like,
all that
bro, like,
muscle, man.
yeah, man. Everybody's everybody's gained weight, man. What the heck are you talking about? Especially this pandemic. Are you kidding? Oh boy, oh boy. I need to get to the gym. Speaking of which, trying to need to lose that weight before the
Agreed.
wedding.
Agreed.
Before the wedding. That'll be lit. That'll be lit. Lit. But other than that, yeah, Super Bowl, man. Not a bad game. So halftime show was pretty solid. Did you see any commercials? No,
Not that I remember, I'll be honest.
because they don't air. They only aired like maybe like 3 of the American commercial. Did you see
Yeah.
any like on YouTube or?
No, I didn't. I think that even though like Super Bowl commercials are such like a
huge
like idea and stigma around them, it's like, yo, you should be watching them or whatever like that. And that's like the best time for commercials all year round.
Some people just watch it just for the commercial.
Yeah, I never really bothered. I think like during all of those breaks, I was either like going to the washroom to like take a piss because of the amount of beer I was drinking or something like that, or like talking to my brother or cousin or something like that while during the commercial. But I'm sure there's probably some good ones. There always usually are. Not a huge deal to me, I guess.
All right. Okay. All right. We'll move along for now. We'll take things local with some rough news this week alone. So I'll talk about the stabbing that occurred on the TTC bus, where a driver was stabbed. He got into an altercation with a passenger. Did he pass away, or did the driver pass away?
Not 100% sure, but I did see the. I did happen to see the news.
I believe they caught the suspect. I could be wrong. Sorry, not to report. I don't want to report the wrong news, but I just heard the brief idea of what happened with the stabbing. They did find a knife. I found like a big ass kitchen knife at the scene. It wasn't the one that was used to stab him, so I guess he carried multiple with him for some reason.
Fucking Gordon Ramsay or something like that.
If anybody woke up and chose violence that day, it was definitely that guy. You know what I mean? Jeez Louise. And news today, there was a shooting in my hood, man. Literally at my intersection, which I will not say because I know the ops are watching. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dude, some dude got shot and he passed away unfortunately at the scene.
Wow.
I'm hoping everyone is okay and be safe out there. I don't know what's with the violence. I hope it has nothing to do with the protesting convoy. But be safe out there. Don't do anything crazy. And be safe. Wear a mask.
Definitely condolences to the lost family and to the people who happen to lose their life. It's fucking terrible, and definitely I think even people were saying, or the government's been saying, how there's been kind of an influx in violence over the past like 2 years for people kind of thing. It's just crazy. And one of the crazy things is we have this conversation with between Carlos and I and our group of friends, but that it seems like some of even like the people that are doing this stuff is getting younger and younger by age. And I know that for us, we're getting older.
I'd even speak about the. Sorry to interrupt you, but I'd even speak about the school shooting.
Yeah,
that happened. That also happened this week.
And yeah, I think the kid was like
only 14.
Yeah, 14. It's like at 14, I was just trying to kiss girls and play basketball and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
but you thought about shooting people.
Maybe like put a 3 in the face or something like that.
Oh.
Or on Call of Duty, let me know.
Oh my god!
I put one in everybody's chamber, man.
Wow. Chrome to your dome. Wow. Click, click, boom, turn your dome to a stadium. God damn.
Bars, man.
Bars, bro.
But yeah, no, it was just, and I know that for us, like, you know, we're getting older as a generation. When we think about 14 or high school, whatever like that, we're what, 14 through 17, 18 kind of thing. And it seems so young. And it just seems like, you know, these people that are doing it as well as the victims, they just happen to be super, super young in comparison. I'm sure there was stuff around our age that people were doing, but it just didn't seem like it was as exposed. So
due to you know what, due to the topic today.
There's that too.
Yeah, the violence is because I mean, god damn, so much in just in the city in just a little week. You know what I mean? Especially with the even not even bringing up the protesting. That shit's getting real. Emergency order is intact. You know, Prime Minister Trudeau, you know, just goes out and just says, "Hey, let's get it. It's time to make arrests. It's time to, you know, make some changes. You know, those who are protesting, fines and arrests. That's all y'all gonna get." You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. And shit's getting real out there, folks. So if you're thinking about protesting, if you truly believe what you believe, I mean, good luck to you. But to Justin Trudeau, or Prime Minister Trudeau, rather, I say, good for you. Good. Get him. Get him. No. But in all seriousness, though, I mean, they were just this week, even today, they lifted limitations up in Ontario. I don't know what they are exactly again, but I believe you're allowed full capacity in your homes now, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm not sure of the exact amount. I do apologize, everyone, but they lifted up limitations now, and more is coming soon. I believe in the beginning of March. So I mean, things are looking up. They're even thinking about removing masks. Well, actually, no. I'm sorry. As of today, wow, my voice just.
Somebody, I'm gonna get the editor, which is me and Carlos, to clip that, and that will be like a little.
That will be today. Short.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but yes, as of today, you don't have to show your vaccine passports to get into places now, which is great.
That's really exciting. That's dope.
You know, no more TDSs. It's less tedious. And is that March 1st? Sorry, my support system said March 1st. We don't want to report the wrong shit out here, so I do apologize.
Carlos is high, everybody.
I am clearly. I got that chrome to the dome. Oh boy. Well, what do you want me to do? It's you know, it's snowy outside. We're in a pandemic. Nothing says making life feel better like black tar heroin. Black tar heroin. Fuck up the news. Oh jeez. But yes, things are looking up, folks. We're getting there. You know, we're getting there. What else? They said they're gonna plan to do Veld this year.
Wow.
So they already have names lined up for that. You know, I'm hoping Carabana and C&E comes back. I miss Carabana, you know, because y'all know why. I don't have to say it. But yeah, C&E that's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope to go do that this year. I'm hoping to travel a lot, like with Cuba side. I'm trying to do more things. I think New York is probably going to be a thing. I hope to go to New York. And then you also mentioned where else you wanted to go? You said you were
Calgary.
going to go
Calgary. I think we might be going to
Alberta,
Calgary.
Canada. Oh boy, there's going to be countrymen out there, dude.
Yeah, in a Walmart parking lot.
Oh my god, that'd be bad. Yeah, I don't know, dude. You think I have to like try and fit in? No, I'm dead on site.
Definitely not. You're fun. That'd be good.
I'm fun.
Yeah, he'll be good.
All right, yeah, I'll take your word for it, man. We shall see. But yeah, that's all I got for recent news or anything of importance. You got
one more
anything?
thing. It was yesterday night, so Wednesday night, in Beijing. I just want to shout out to the Canadian women's hockey team. We did happen to take gold home last night against the States. I believe it was a 3-2 game. And the States did put up a fight. I believe that they scored in the last minute to try and keep it close, but unfortunately fortunately we did pull it out. So, congratulations to the hockey team. We brought home gold. The men's hockey team didn't even qualify whatsoever, which is fucking sad because usually we're pretty fucking good.
Because they're a bunch of pansies.
But at least the women can take it home. So I'm super glad about that. Congratulations again. I'm super hyped, but that's all I got.
My understanding was that nobody from the HNL or
Carlos. See, this distance got Carlos all messed up today, man. Holy shit.
And then I'm gonna call my dealer and ask him what the hell was in my black tie hair. NHL, sorry. My understanding was nobody from the NHL was in the Team Canada team.
Yeah, I think it was a majority of like our juniors or the guys that just came out of juniors that were making it to the NHL or about to go, but unfortunately no NHL players were, I think, allowed or something along the lines. But still, Canadians are known for hockey. It's our number one sport, I would think.
It's our birthright.
Still, right? So birthright.
It's our goddamn birthright. That's what. And we just never even made it. That goes to show you that the Chinese are ruining everything and they're taking over. That's why we must fight back.
Oh, Carlos. You know what the Chinese did? They created those headphones you're wearing. You know what else the Chinese did? They probably created the keyboard you're typing on.
I doubt that. Mine says made in Indonesia, Bangladesh,
and another thing that gets into our topic. They probably made majority of the parts that I'm using to connect to our topic today, and it is
country music.
I wish it was country music.
Can you imagine a Chinese person doing country music?
Like it'd be sick. American country
that would be unbelievable. That's something I have to see.
That would be sick.
There has to be like a Chinese person that does country music, right?
Oh, there's definitely.
Yeah, but I mean like accent wise.
Oh yeah, I would think so.
Shut up.
There has to be. There has to be at least one. What? There's always something out there. Every variation of person. The other day,
I've seen black country artists where I'm just thinking, and I'm listening to the music and I'm like, what the fuck are you thinking? You know what I mean? Those pipes, you could have used it for R&B. You know what I mean? And you try using it for this shit. Whatever. That's just me. But
I was listening to jazz the other day and I was just skipping through kind of this random playlist and then I heard this like one song that kind of just popped in my head. I'm like, why does this guy sound so odd? Not like odd, but it was just like different from every other kind of jazz that's out there. And I was looking into like who it was, and I actually found out it's like a South Korean band. They're from South Korea, but they mainly do American jazz or like American like soul or whatever it is. So then you have a guy like a Korean guy with an accent that sounds like I don't know, like Barry Manilow or something like that. It was actually very funny.
What the hell?
Yeah, it was very like odd, but I remember just hearing. I'm like, it's actually not that bad, but you can definitely hear the accent
and them trying to Copacabana.
It was wild, but
do they do this? What's it called? Skeeting?
I do, scatting. Love that shit. Yeah.
Then they do it in like a Korean accent. Scooby-Doo. Oh boy, I'm trying it today.
Carlos
I'm
is pushing
trying
it,
it.
man. You're pushing
Oh
it
boy,
today.
I'm
Oh
pushing the
my
envelope.
god.
Scooby-Doo. Jazz. Oh Jesus! Why are you laughing? You see what this
Cancel him.
is? You
Cancel
are
him,
judging. You know what? I do this stuff, and you laugh. You egg me on, sir. That is your problem. We'll talk about your problems in another episode. You know what? You instigator, you. Anyways, that is my. Oh my god.
Spiel for
Yeah,
today.
yeah. But yes, that is our recent news. What's going on? But the topic today is life before the internet. Look at this. Remember life, living life like this. No cell phones,
In a Jeep.
in a Jeep, you know, no wondering if they got vaccines or not, you know, not wondering what pronouns they go by. Oh boy. Oh, am I pushing it there too? Uh-oh.
Carlos is killing it today. I love it.
Oh
No,
Jesus.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, today, I mean, life before the internet, man. Although we were born in 92, so our lives before the internet were very were not much. I think we've lived long. We've definitely lived life longer with the internet than we did without.
Oh yeah,
Would I be correct? Yes.
for sure.
So, but no, life before the what was life before the internet like for you, Ryan? What was it like for you?
I
What was
was
it like for a
happy.
young Ryan?
I was happy, and I
Well, that
hate it, and I hate it
that,
now.
that
I
got
hate it
dark.
here.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, but the life before the internet, just to, before I get into the kind of personal experience in it, the reason why I wanted to do this episode is because I think that majority of our listeners, you happen to be our group of friends. Shout out to the South Korean listener. If
Korea.
you are around our age, you
Oh, we definitely
probably
lost a South Korean listener after my jazz joke. Oh my god, I totally forgot. We just got canceled in Korea. I am so sorry.
Oh, they hate you
Whoops.
now. They
Yeah,
hate you.
yeah. What can I say? Oh well, I love them though. I love you. But anyways, continue.
In this case, I think it's true. I think it's a really important kind of thing to talk about because majority of the people who happen to be listening, you can definitely relate at one point in time. Maybe not for our younger listeners, but there's a certain amount of time in your lifetime that you probably remember, before having a computer or not having access to email or figuring out what email is and like that whole jump and like what you did without the internet by your side. I feel like the internet is like 95% of our day now, as opposed to maybe you spend an hour playing solitaire on the computer or something like that, like way
Or
back when,
pinball.
right? Our pinball, like all those window games that used to
Yeah.
be on like Windows 98 kind of thing or Windows 95. And it's crazy. So I really wanted to kind of talk about this specific topic is because I would love to hear exactly what your experiences are. Everyone who happens to be listening, hit us up on all of our socials. But life for me specifically, I think one of the coolest things that I did want to mention, and not a lot of young people are going to remember this, but I'm sure that a lot of us remembered, but you couldn't be on the phone and be connected to the internet at the exact same time.
Mm.
I don't know if you remember that, Carlos, but like there were certain times where we'd have the internet plugged in, but then my mom would try to make a phone call and then you get disconnected from your phone call or vice versa kind of thing. It was actually like super funny.
No, I always had high-speed internet, so I never had that issue with your broke ass. I'm teasing, no teasing. No, I didn't get internet until like 5th or 6th grade.
Oh wow, so quite
Yeah,
late.
yeah, I did not get it. Yeah, I didn't get internet until like maybe 6th grade. I didn't get internet. It was just coming home, and then just either watching TV or playing on my N64. RIP. And yeah, that's basically it for me. But I do recall going to friends' houses and then, they'd show me websites like, what websites were there? Neopets was a big one. What other websites? What's those gaming? No, not E-bombs. Stick Death. Remember Stick Death? That was a good one.
Yeah,
Stick Death
everybody
was a big
remember that.
one. And fuck.com. That was a website that you remember. You don't remember that? That's literally the first.
Fuck.com?
Yeah. That was literally the first site, the first point that I've ever seen in my entire life. The very first one. And I'm just like, whoa. And then I told my dad, I need to get the internet tomorrow.
You tell me they have these images on here for free?
Out. Like, hold on, how much does this cost? Oh, you can just see these pictures for free. What? For free? God damn. But they never had any black people on there, it was always blondes that probably listened to country music and white dudes.
It was definitely
the
part of the come up of the internet.
Yeah.
So one question I have for you, Carlos, because I'm sure that, I don't know, like, what are the your last memory, like in and around maybe before kindergarten or after kindergarten, like what would you do when you got home from school kind of thing, or like what would you do on like the weekend aside from the internet, because we never had it. So what would we be doing?
So what was on Carlos's daily schedule? Basically just come home, watch the TV, catch any episode of Dragon Ball Z I can get, Digimon,
hell yeah,
Escaflowne, Mona the Vampire.
Escaflowne, what the hell is that?
What?
I don't know what Escaflowne is. That sounds really familiar, but I can't like put my hand to it.
Are you trying to piss me off?
Escaflowne.
You've never heard of Escaflowne?
It sounds familiar, but I don't know what it is. I can't
about
picture
this
that.
dude who takes, he is I believe a knight in a somewhat futuristic, but also past, in the past where he's a knight and he takes over this big ass robot called Escaflowne, and then he operates it, goes into the machine, and take care of these bitch ass motherfuckers and, starts fighting them. And he does it in the name of his kingdom. And then there's this queen and this princess who, just like, thank you so much. And they have this fucking not fucking energy where like they're gonna either kiss or not, or either make, have babies or not. So they don't know for sure. But he's in the army. You don't know if he's coming home. Just do what you got to do, baby. Make babies with her and then be on your way. But no, he's like, the army first. Let's do this, Escaflowne. I'm out of here. And, pow, pow, pow. He fights. Fox Kids. Let's go. Escaflowne. Pow. You still haven't heard of this show?
I got to go look it up. We got to post something on our Instagram.
Crazy.
To see how many people remember Escaflowne.
Escaflowne.
Because I definitely don't.
Escaflowne.
You bring up a great point, because I think Fox News, or not Fox News, but Fox
News. I was watching Fox News as a kid. Just going up to my dad, Dad, don't watch CNN. They're all hypocrites and parasites trying to brainwash us. That was me as a kid.
Fox Kids. Fox Kids. Like Saturday morning. Saturday morning. Yeah.
The best Saturday morning block ever.
I think it started pretty early too, at like 8 a.m. or something.
8 a.m. now.
Wow. Kids were like awake way earlier. And then you'd have to be up super, super early to catch all these like crazy television shows that were going on. I think one of my favorite ones was that old wrestling one, and I'm not trying to go back into the old episodes that we did before where we're talking about like the babysitter kind of.
You don't want to repeat yourself.
But yeah, I think Fox Kids had a huge upbringing in the amount of time that kids spent in front of the television, as opposed to like what we're doing with the internet nowadays. I can't imagine like going back to that time where it's like no internet. Like what would these kids be doing? Like what would I be doing? It's just like it's a super weird feeling, I would say.
Oh, for sure. I mean, even freaking TV aside, like the way that we operate things, like Netflix being so readily available, we used to just go to Blockbuster, pick up a DVD or video game to play, and to find movie times to watch a movie, instead of you just going on your cell phone, going on a website to figure out what times the movies comes, you'd have to go into the newspaper to see what times those movies are on. So it's like, goddamn, man, crazy how times have changed. And then playing video games with people instead of doing it online with some dude from Timbuktu, you'd have to invite friends over or go to a friend's house to play all these multiplayer games. And that's when you really knew violence. And that's where Ryan developed the urge to fucking kill people.
The thing, we even like did that up until recently. I remember like bringing an Xbox over to somebody's house and
Yeah.
like playing like LAN kind of stuff, like without internet. Like you necessarily didn't have to have internet, but now it just seems so predominant that it's like everyone's kind of isolated in their own little room. The internet's like the tool that they use to communicate, go forward, and like communicate with other people and stuff like that. I can't imagine going back. It's like playing N64. They had 4 slots on the console because you guys could all sit beside each other, each with an N64 controller, being playing like Mario Party or Super Smash Bros. Or something like that. Like what a difference. Yeah, it's such a difference.
Yeah, man. I mean, the point of the internet was it made life easier to do shit, whether it be for, just for fun or doing it for business or, other things like that. The internet just made things easier to do. And with that in mind, if it makes things easier, that means people got a tad bit lazier. That's what it comes with, you know what I mean? So instead of you just going out, because even now is a perfect example with everything in the pandemic, instead of me going out and like worrying about, my health, or not, I wouldn't say it like that. Well, worrying about going to the gym and whatnot. Like I don't go out as often, but thanks to the internet, I don't have to travel to work. I save money on gas, which is convenient, but at the same time, I'm like, I miss socializing, and that's what the internet did. Before the internet did, it was a lot more socializing. Instead of you, going on the Tinders and your grinders.
All right.
You just go out and you talk to people, and you had to legit. I felt sorry for the people who had to live before the internet and did not have confidence. That's who dude, if that was me, I'd die alone.
It'd be rough.
Oh, it'd be insanely rough.
Super rough.
It'd be intense. Like you'd have to have people talk to people for you, and that will probably not get you anywhere. That'll be like a 1 out of a million chance that would actually work, and then just
speaking of that, like just like meeting people and like meeting your like potential significant other kind of thing. Like I have a question. It's like, Carlos, how did your parents meet, just in like a general sense?
What does this have to do with the internet? Are you FBI? What are you, the police? What's going on here?
How did they get together? You know what I mean?
My understanding was, I may have gotten this wrong, so I do apologize if I do get this wrong. But my understanding was that their parents introduced them, and then it wasn't arranged per se, but they introduced, like each of their parents introduced them, and then they gotten along. They ended up getting married. They lived in Ghana for a little bit as a married couple, and then they moved here in like 88, 89. And here we are, with little money in their bank accounts. But that's how they did it. No online inquiry, no filling out the form to meet somebody,
the profile.
No likes, no dislikes, no swipe left, swipe right. Just getting to know one another and then conversing, and here we are today. And they made me,
which we all adore and love.
Debatable. I have some ops. Go ahead.
My point in this case was just that like definitely there had to be like a huge change in the amount of people that happen to be meeting online in comparison to like meeting in person. like Carl said, like to be able to do that way back when had to be so tough in comparison kind of thing. Nowadays it's so easy. You could just, go on your phone and swipe right and swipe left and, pick somebody that you'd like to meet and start a conversation with them, all electronically.
Like, even if you do the old school way, like even just going up to like women today, like they just be like shocked that they're like, oh, but then at the end of the conversation, it'll just end up going to the internet, just like, oh, add me on Instagram, or it's just convenient that way, man. It's more of convenience. The internet, that's what it does, man. It's a convenient thing where people are just on their phones 24/7, and then at the same time, it's plays mentally with you. You understand? Because like, I know for me, like when I'm talking to somebody on these on a dating app or on Instagram, like that a person's on their phone 24/7. There's no way that you have a freaking iPhone 57 and then you're not on your phone like 24/7. But yet that then when they don't reply, and it's like, I got ghosted by this person, like that makes no sense to me. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, how you gonna do a brother like that? I don't understand. All because I asked you what are your thoughts on Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan. You know what I'm saying? All because I asked you if you're with the program. You know what I'm saying? Like, all because I asked you if you're a vaccine freaking. You're an insect. You're mindless. Oh shit! I'm just playing. No, I just like, yeah.
Oh my God.
All I'm saying is that, look, the internet, as much convenience as it provides you, I think it's definitely played a role in terms of mental health as well, a big role. Whether it be just from people suffering from depression or just people just being a lot more shy now that they're on the internet. They feel confident now that they're behind a keyboard, whereas in real life they are very, very shy and not as sociable as these social media websites are trying to portray to you to be. You know what I mean? I think these social media websites are just like eliminating that whole socializing in person thing, because you talk to someone on these dating apps for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then you finally meet up with this person in real life, and I've known people who are just like an absolute mess when they meet in person, because they aren't as smooth on the apps as they should be. Because that's another issue with these, is that when you're on the internet, it's almost like you're a different person and you have to keep up with this character, and that plays a lot with your head. And you shouldn't have to do that, because when you're on the internet, you're comfortable. It's a way for you to not be yourself sometimes. And not even dating apps aside, like, you can take pictures per day, you can tell people that you're happy, but if you're genuinely depressed, some people are not gonna portray that in their files, I am an absolute fucking wreck today. Portray that in their file. They're not going to portray that on their profiles. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they want the likes, they want the attention, because things are going well for them so far. And if they don't keep up, then they're not going to get that attention. If they miss like a single post that day, they're just going to be like, shit, I wonder what people will think of me. And with that, in the internet, man, that's a scary, scary thing. What do you think, Ryan?
One thing I wanted to kind of talk about, because I did do a little bit of, I would say...
You're not going to read poetry again, are you?
Oh, no, definitely not.
Oh, thank God.
But I did do a little bit of, research in relation to like the internet and its up and comings and stuff like that. And just wanted to kind of talk about a couple of cool facts that I think people can appreciate, not to get too deep into it. But the internet originated from, the Army's use, for them to be able to kind of like send signals between each other.
Which army?
The American Army, I believe.
Damn right.
The Americans.
Damn right.
So they created this. And then in and around, I believe it was 1971, I forget the individual's name, but he was the first person that happened to create email, or what we call electronic mail as of now.
No, we call it email. You call it electronic mail.
Even
Let's
like
get it.
the whole difference with like, you know, your first name and then the @ sign to separate like the server and stuff like that. All of that was created like way long ago. So I think the very first email that got sent was back in 1971, which is really, really cool because, you know, it's even before my time, you know, by a couple of years. I'm sure that a lot of our listeners, even before your time, in that case. So, you know, it definitely has a deep rooted history in relation to it. One of the things that I did want to at least talked with Carlos bringing up the situation with like social media and, you know, people getting a little bit more personal.
By the way,
now.
sorry to interrupt you again. I feel like social media is also like a very big topic that comes across in every single one of our episodes.
Oh yeah.
But I want to be clear that the reason why we do that is because we think social media is scum and we're trying to get rid of it as much as possible. But yeah, bear that in mind. Please follow us on Instagram and YouTube. We need the support. Continue.
Best way to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was looking at a couple of like studies and I've read a couple of things in the last couple of months. And because we have now the World Wide Web, like www, in this case, it has caused, like Carl said, great creations that we happen to have. Things like Google, things like web browsers, you know, unlimited amounts of information throughout the world for us to be able to kind of see pictures and people and communicate between people that we probably would never even communicate if we didn't have the internet. Is a huge, huge change in itself. One of the outcomes, you know, in relation to communication, email, comes social media, things like Facebook, Instagram, whatever it may be. And I'm pretty sure that like in and around when more computers were being normalized inside households and stuff like that, I think it was in and around like the early 2000s. That's when suicide rates for like teenagers like skyrocketed in comparison, because things like Facebook were, you know, getting huge. Well, Facebook, I think, was a little bit later in the time, but like, you know, maybe like mid 2000s to late 2010 and around that area, like teenage
MySpaces, teenage
suicide rates were skyrocketing. And then the government and, you know, all of these like departments that were looking into this, like, why are these kids killing themselves like all of a sudden? You know what I mean? Like, what is the fucking reason? And they really narrowed it down to, you know, the creation that the internet is kind of exposed to each other. It's social media in this case. And I'm not going to sit here and try to bash social media the whole episode, because we could do that all day.
Fuck you, Mark Zuckerberg.
We could do that all day. Yeah. But it's just like, you know, the internet definitely has its pros and cons in relation to it. And this is definitely one of those things that, even though I don't want to speak about it too much, it's definitely one of those things to note, you know, causing major issues, especially during your development years as a teenager, and you care more about shit like that. It ruined a lot of kids' lives, you know, in this case. And a lot of kids didn't get to see 20 and 19 or drive their first car because they happened to take their own life due to, you know, what social media kind of opened up, you know, I would say. And I think like even during like the 80s and the 90s, before it was, you know, even a thing to get on a computer and post your pictures and all that kind of stuff, suicide rates, they were existent for sure, but to have it skyrocket right in and around the time when social media and the internet is being like predominantly in everybody's household nowadays, so it's a crazy thing.
Yeah, I mean, just like you know, with the whole Amanda Todd situation, even like just cyberbullying in general was a huge idea. But you know, what's scary for me as well is that you know, back in the day, not even back currently, sorry, that people are so influenced from what's going on by social media, they're not having their own thoughts anymore. And so my worst fear is that, you know, as people are still living through it creates this thought, so it erases everybody's individualism because they're so influenced by these, you know, the majority of people thinking the same, because they don't want to be left out. So with this whole Joe Rogan thing, people are just coming to this complete consensus that he's scum and he should be, you know, removed from Spotify. Whereas people, and I get it, like he said the N-word a few times, but from the episodes that I've seen, when he said it, It was never malicious. It was all to explain a story. There was one instance where I'm just like, okay, he went a bit too far there. But from the majority of the episodes, it wasn't. It wasn't. He seems like an intelligent guy. He's funny, and it's literally the biggest podcast on the planet. I mean, there are 1,000+ episodes in, and people now decide that he needs to be canceled. Just like, and mind you, this is not even from like not even from like a most recent episode, but these are like past episodes,
like from way back when,
where people feel like, oh, he's dangerous. But my thing is that he made it past those episodes to where he is now, but yet you're judging him on the past episode. So it goes to show me that like these people who are saying that he needs to be canceled, they are not really fans of the show. It's a majority thing. They wouldn't know, I mean, like if they actually watch the show, they would know where he's coming from. They would know that like he does not mean anything by what he says on his show, or if he has stuff to say where he truly means it, people will get that. But my thing is, it's the majority influence where people don't want to feel left out, where they're just like, oh, I don't like Joe Rogan. Here's my thoughts on it. And then they get these things called likes, where the person who's seeing the numbers rise on these likes that person's going to feel like, oh, people agree with me. I feel I'm a part of something now. I can't let these people down now because they're my friends. Whereas I don't, in reality, you don't know those people. You don't owe these people anything. If you have a thought, if you truly had a thought about it, just speak your thoughts. And if you're afraid of what you might say, of what, the feelings that you may hurt along the way, at the end of the day, those are your thoughts. That's what makes you you. You shouldn't surround yourself with people that don't like you for you. Don't, you know what I mean? It's corrupting their thoughts, changing people's ideas. That's not the thing. That's one thing that I'm not a fan of for social media in general. Eliminating everyone's individualism.
Definitely. One of the things I think that the internet has kind of done over the past couple of years is it's really exposed the flaws that we have in like humanity in relation to, things like herd, it's like herd thinking or herd mentality, where one person does it and then a whole bunch of other people kind of do it.
Yes.
Even though sometimes that the group in itself might not agree to it, but they still do it. So there's even a saying that they say, like, the human is smart, but the group of humans is stupid because of things like herd like mentality and how everyone's just willing to kind of do something if everyone else is doing it. There's been like social experiments where they would take, I think we learned about this in like psychology class, like back in high school, where they would sit down somebody into a room and they would be like an environment where 9 people would be like, oh, this line is longer than the other line, even though the one person's like, no, like, or it's obvious that this line is longer than the other one, but everyone's saying it's opposite. And then that one person would almost be like, am I the wrong one? Like, I have to be convinced. And then when they ask that person which one's longer or which one's the right answer, they would just agree with the community as opposed to, their own individual thoughts in this case. And I think that humans always sort of had that feel or that thought process specifically, but it's more exposed now with things like cancel culture and things like Instagram and things like everyone. I don't know. I'm sure that it happens in every single case. Like even when somebody donates to the truck convoy, and it's like, oh, you go post on your Facebook, oh, like I just donated to the truck convoy. And maybe somebody reads that and feels bad. It's like, hey, I want to kind of do that too, even though you may not agree with it, just because it is kind of being part of the community or whatever it may be. So I definitely 100% agree with you. It really does take away from, the individualism of a person and, their own thought process. But I think that we've kind of always had that as humans. It's just like super exposed now because the internet allows you to be able to do it within like a minute or like a second kind of thing, just by clicking a like, or just like by putting in your credit card information to donate to a cause or whatever it may be. before having to I don't know, promote to go protest at a fucking something that you disagreed with, right? Like you'd have to get up, put your clothes on, take a shower, go to the protest, make a sign, chant.
You would put your clothes on first and then take the shower? Is everything okay, pal? Is everything all right, buddy?
It's like that on a side note, that music video, it's like all the things he said, all the things he said. Yeah.
What's the name of that band?
I picture that band.
Tattoo.
I picture that whenever you're like wearing clothes and it's just raining and shit.
Oh, God. They portray themselves as lesbians, but they're not actually lesbians. They got canceled before cancel culture.
Damn.
Crazy.
But yeah, I think in that case, there was a lot more effort to do it. And, the internet makes it super, super easy to be able to have that herd thought process where it's just like, I'm just going to follow the masses in this case, like you said.
Good stuff. Yeah, because we're just ranting about what's so bad about the internet again. Let's just talk about life before the internet, with the actual topic. Do you remember how you got your music before the internet?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
My
next question.
Yeah, definitely. All right, chill. But in this case, one of the biggest things, like even just to see society change. Moving from like.
I thought you were gonna actually answer the question. You're going into a whole spiel.
Oh, I was gonna go into it. I was definitely gonna answer it. But
yeah,
like things like HMV, things like Sunrise Records, for anyone who remembers that. I know for our Torontonians, there was like Sam the Record Man or something like that. That whole like era of like going to a place and buying a CD or buying a record from a store, as opposed to just like a couple of snaps of your finger, and then all of a sudden you have something downloaded onto a storage drive that you can always access at any point in time, right? Before, it's like you had to get up, more effort to go buy that CD. And my older brother was a huge music fan, probably spent thousands and thousands of dollars on like CDs throughout my lifetime. So that's where I got my music, that's for sure.
Damn, really? That's well, I know my parents collected a lot of CDs, so that helped me a lot. But I know for the most recent music was the way I got it was I would wait for that song to come on the radio and I have to record it on tape.
Oh yeah.
Or CD.
Yeah.
That was one way to do it for me, and totally worth it, by the way. It didn't sound the best quality because then it was censored and stuff. I didn't even know. I didn't until the internet. I had no clue that music was actually censored on the radio. I had no idea. And I'm just wondering, whoa. I remember just listening to like In the Club for the first time on CD. And then I'm hearing, I'm like, whoa,
chill, man.
What is this?
That's telling these people to bust it wide open.
You know what I mean? I was like, what does that even
Spread
mean?
eagle.
Drop down and get your eagle. What does that mean?
God.
But yeah, just realistically, life. Yeah, that was just life before the internet, man. You have to go the extra mile to get what you want. But at the end of the day, there was a sense of life was. I wouldn't say harder, but it was just that was just life. You just lived that way. But there was more sense of accomplishment when you got what you wanted. You know what I mean? Without the assistance of making, because things now on the internet, it's easy. You know what I mean? You just order something on Amazon and then boom, pow, it's right here. But there's not that, you finally get it, but there's not that sense of accomplishment. You know what I mean? Whereas you go out, it's like something that's on the list. Like instead of ordering online, let me just go up to the store and pick it up. They have it, perfect. That's checked off the list. Now I'm gonna go shop for groceries and do stuff. You know what I mean? Just add it to the list, and feel accomplished at the end of the day that you got that. And whether it be just you know what? Do you remember like the first CD you listened to, like that actual CD?
An actual CD?
Yeah.
I don't know. It had to be something. It had to be like Drew Hill or something like that, like late 90s.
I'm gonna move on.
Speaking of Drew Hill, no, but I think like even like tapes, like you said, like to record a tape. Like I think like one of my favorite tapes way back when that my uncle had was like Bad by Michael Jackson kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like even having like the physical tape, and for us we had like tape players, and I still remember like putting it in there and then like pressing the rewind kind of thing, and then having to pick like the song. It was a totally different era in itself for music before like the accessibility that we do happen to have now. And thank you for that, because it makes it way more easier, a second thought. But it's just funny, the way that it was back then, right?
Oh, for sure, for sure.
One of the side notes that I wanted to talk about just quickly, because I thought it was a really interesting fact, is that the first thing ever purchased on the internet, can you guess what it was? It's not anything sexual or anything like crazy.
Well, why'd you even ask me? There's
it's funny.
I don't know. Just what would be something ridiculous? Can I get 3 guesses?
Yeah, you can have 3 guesses. It's the first ever thing that was ever sold to somebody else on the internet. It was like the first transaction that got and then delivered to somebody else. What do you think it was? You get 3 answers.
Let me see. Is it an actual product?
Yeah, it's a product.
It's not a human being.
It's a tangible thing.
And it's not a human being, yes?
No.
That
would be fucking wild, though.
That would be insane.
There's definitely some human trafficking going on the internet nowadays.
That's more black. That's black market, all right.
Mail order brides type shit.
Is it a video game? That's my
no, it wasn't.
Good.
That was a good guess, though.
Was it a furniture?
No, it was not.
Was it a videotape?
No, it was not.
Damn.
That's 3, my friend. It was a pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah, can you believe that? That's weird. It's a weird fact. The very first product that ever got sold on the internet, and I got this from a fact YouTube fucking channel where they do a whole bunch of like historic facts and stuff like that. But yeah, pizza was actually the very first thing that was ever purchased online. It had to be like probably 95 or something like that, like super late. But yeah, weird. Very odd.
Who knew? Pizza.
One of the questions.
Pepperoni?
Yeah, I probably was. One of the questions I had for you, Carlos, that I was actually interested in is what is, one thing you miss about life before the internet? Like if you can think back and you had to choose, one thing.
One thing. I guess for me being I watch TV a lot. I guess just waiting for that 1 week. I miss that now that I think about it.
Shark Week?
No, man. Like like if you're watching a show and then you have to wait between 1 week to wait for the next. This dude said Shark Week. What the hell are you doing?
Like I discovered, Shark Week, shit, man. Shit was wild.
That stuff is still going on. What are you talking about? This dude says Shark Week. Are you serious?
I know. I get it now.
Yeah, just
waiting for the Kamehameha.
Exactly. Although that took like 50 episodes for the spirit ball to load up. Totally worth it in the end, But yeah, just having something to talk about that, because you see that one episode and then you talk about it with your friends for like a week, because there's nothing really else going on in your life. You're just a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just worried about what was going on with Dragon Ball or whatever was on TV or sports. And then, you're just a kid. You have nothing to focus on else. You also talk about what's going on with homework. All right. And then, you're not exposed to like news or like, I guess celebrity stuff from time to time when you watch like TV shows and stuff. But you don't really talk about too much, but like that waiting that 1 week between episodes, I guess, is one thing I miss about it. Because now it's just like once I finish the show in like a month, I'm just like, where does my life go? What do I do? I finished it so quick, and now I don't know what to do now. But yeah,
That's a great answer.
right.
That's definitely got to be one of the best answers I've heard. I think that like Netflix and online streaming has made us so impatient.
Yes.
Where it's like, man, I don't want to wait the week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just
I need
keep
it now.
Yeah, I need it now. You know, I need
Yeah.
it now, kind of thing. And I think that that's one of those underrated things that I never would have thought about it. So thank you for that answer. That's actually great.
What is your thing?
I was gonna say I thought about it because I know I wanted to answer or ask this question eventually, but I think one of the things I missed was like going home from school and then like just instead of going right to like going to a computer and picking up a game or even just playing games in general. But I think the best thing is because you had no other choice, you had to create some sort of entertainment for yourself. So whether it was like getting outside, bike rides, playing basketball, just discovering the world outside of like the computer or any sort of electronic. Like I remember, shout out to my boy Terry. I love you, man. But in this case, me and him used to spend a lot of time together as kids because we would like get on our bikes and then go kilometers down the street in one direction where we wouldn't know where we're going. We discover a brand new like part of town.
Did someone say One Direction?
This guy. I remember like there's this place that we had to like go 20 or 30 kilometers in this like forest trail to go to the city over on our bikes and that kind of shit, and just discovering like the ponds and like the kids over there and stuff like that. It was super cool. I think that was one thing I do miss about it, is that you had no choice but to entertain yourself, and then you come up with some of the coolest things just to do, whether you're discovering it, whatever it may be. I thought that was
during that time, is that when you taught yourself the stranger?
I wasn't even thinking about strangers at that age.
Yeah, dude, you had some stranger things going on. You had some stranger things going on for sure. For sure. Oh yeah. But yes, simpler times, man. Just going outside as a kid was just times you can never ever take back. I feel sorry for these kids, man.
Yeah.
I really do. Just be even like those, because there's 100% kids that have cell phones at a really young age, and they're exposed to like a lot of stuff. Just even being exposed to that stuff at such a young age, like they have no like at that point, you don't have time to actually be a kid. You know what I mean? Now they're thinking about relationships when they shouldn't even be focusing on stuff like that. Death and all these tragedies and stuff. They have that live fast, die young mentality at the age of 10.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, it's too young for that, man. As a kid, you just want to live forever and be a kid. Go to the nearest, like, do these kids even play with toys anymore? Is that even a thing?
I think it is, but I think that they get rid of it at a younger age than we did. I think that I even remember playing with like action figures till I was like 11 or 12 kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like just having them around and having the imagination. But I think that like with the younger generation, and yes, 100% due to the internet, maybe 99% due to the internet, because I'll blame 1% on the parents. But in this case, it's definitely exposed more issues, more like social structure, more things to do to children now, where they're almost like forced to grow up a little bit more. And I think that it probably suppresses their imagination at a certain point. I think that you probably lose out on it the more exposed that you are to real life, whether it is watching YouTube videos because you're looking at relationships, clothing, music because it's way more accessible, all that kind of stuff. Does wonders because it is accessible, but it really forces young kids to grow up, I think, a lot sooner than they should, for sure.
Kids these days, some people's kids,
man. I think we were like the last generation that like saw that transition, you know, or we were at least part of that era that was old enough to know your life before the internet and
Right.
then life with the internet. Even like you said in the beginning of the episode, you know, we've lived more years in our lives with the internet, but I think that we were old enough to know, or like smart enough to know at that point in time, but yet we still lived the full length of our imaginations and, you know, our childhood in this case.
That life was gone too soon, man. Gone too soon.
It really was.
Yeah. R.I.P. to the life before the internet, man. Shout
Yeah.
out to, you know, when it was cool to just, you know, not carry out those brick ass cell phones and didn't have to take pictures for it. Ooh, that's another thing. Taking pictures. Oh my God. Dude, taking pictures at every little thing, taking pictures for what you eat. Like,
Yeah.
really? That's a, you know, people forget to just live in the moment. I'm not gonna lie. The next date I go on, if I see a person take a picture of the food they eat, I am smushing that up.
Everybody mark that
word.
down.
Yeah, ladies, I don't care if you're listening. If you're gonna try to go on a date with me, take them goddamn photos. It's a wrap for that food. I'm gonna just. That's it.
To
Just
quickly
live on the moment, man. Just embrace
Yeah.
everything that's going on. Embrace nature. Just live in it. Stop going to concerts and taking pictures. Who are you going to show those photos to? It's only cool for like 2 seconds. And then what? And then what? Just live in the moment, man. That's why I try to prevent to do at the Kanye concert. I admit I took a video, but I not watched it since, and I don't plan on watching it. Like if it pops up somewhere, and I doubt it will, like I'll be like, okay, cool. But then what? Just living, me thinking about it, knowing that I have that memories means a lot more to me than that video itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Boom. You're right, man. You got quiet there for a bit.
I was just gonna say, you know, I'm starting to
It
think,
seems
but
like you're pissed off at me or something.
I'm like sad at this episode because it does make me emotional to think about, you know, all those times that it's like where the internet wasn't 99% of my life, you know, because you wake up in the day and I use the internet to work and make money, and then after I probably maybe even use the internet to order my dinner, maybe even order my groceries, or if it's that pause time where I didn't happen to. But then, like, you know, streaming Netflix is another aspect of using the internet, and, you know, going to sleep and using your phone kind of thing to fall asleep to, or whatever it may be, to listen to music. The internet's just become so revolutionary in our relation to like our livelihood, and it just rotates everything. So it definitely makes me like emotional and sad to like think about, you know, how much, you know, I've given in. But yeah, no, like I almost don't even have anything more to say about it.
Damn. Just imagine how emotional sad you're gonna be when you feel like you're gonna die soon.
In a Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, in a Walmart parking lot, man. God damn. Just call it quits. Bro, if I'm on my deathbed, if I'm on my deathbed and someone starts playing Luke Combs, pull the goddamn plug and just call it. Just leave. There it is. I live my life. That's it. I don't want to say goodbye. Just pull the plug and just leave. Oh my God. Any final thoughts, Ryan?
I'm gonna go with, you know, unfortunate to the you know, the people who never got to experience that. And I think this episode's tough because for a younger listener, they don't really understand, or they don't really know. And all they can really hear it is just hear it from our mouths and just say, hey, this is what we experienced, this is what we liked about it, this is what we didn't like. Like I remember just like, even just to go to my little brother and tell him like, hey, you couldn't be playing on the computer while I'm on the phone, or you know, that we would have to walk to everywhere instead of having to, you know, order it online and stuff like that. I think it's just it's a crazy thought process. And I think that nowadays, even though the internet has probably way more pros than it does cons, I'll be honest and say that. I think that we can probably control a little bit more and, you know, try to really think about what you're producing on the internet. I think it's a smooth thing. But if I were to pick one, I'm definitely going with life before it. That's all I got to say. What about you, Carlos? What are your final thoughts?
I mean, yeah, man. I'd also pick life before. Life was much more simpler if you didn't have to worry about like taxes and like mandates and things like that. You just had to just live life to the fullest and be a kid. Just be a kid. And yeah, life before, man. It was easy. Yeah, these kids don't know, man. These kids don't know.
Yeah.
So I'll just say that. Any recommendations or whatchamacallit? Uh-oh.
You know what I actually started watching? It's called The Serpent on Netflix.
What's that?
It's like some show about these
Snakes? Is it about snakes? I mean, I would assume snakes.
It's like some like murder mystery kind of thing that happened in Thailand. I don't even know if it's based on a true story, but I think that during the 70s and the 60s, there's all these hippies going to Thailand because there was like this whole like hippie movement and like how Thailand was more free than America and stuff like that. So then a whole bunch of people kind of moved to Thailand to try and live life or to travel and stuff like that. And then there's like a murderer that's like killing all these hippies or something like that. It's on Netflix.
That's weird. I typed up The Serpent on Google and it just shows me pictures of Kevin Durant. I'm sorry. Oh well.
Speaking of that, actually, the NBA All-Star is this weekend.
So everybody check
that out this weekend. Everybody check that out.
Wow. Okay. Damn.
What about you,
dunk
Carlos?
Contest at all?
Yeah, Saturday.
So it's still Saturday and Sunday, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. What
about you, Carlos? Give me a recommendation.
Excuse me. The Americans. It's on Disney Plus. It's a show about these two Russian spies that infiltrate the U.S. and they live life as Americans and they do these tasks for the KGB.
Oh wow!
So it's basically the KGB versus the FBI in the 80s. So it's a pretty neat show. Won it was nominated for tons of awards.
Oh wow!
And it was basically at the time that it was airing, it was basically going neck and neck with Breaking Bad.
Oh,
so pretty solid show so far. I'm only like 3 episodes in, but it's pretty intriguing stuff.
The Americans.
Yeah,
check it
on
out.
Disney Plus. It's on Disney Plus for the Canadians, and it's on Hulu, I believe, for you Americans.
We probably should have recommended doing something without the use of the internet. Our life before the internet.
You want to do that? We can do that now.
Do it.
Recommend something now. Watch TV. See what's actually on TV. If you have cable, read a book. Remember books?
Yeah.
Definitely. Good times. When you're playing on your PlayStation or Xbox, play locally. All right, don't play online.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
you'll end up playing single player like me for listening to country music.
Yeah. Or buy a DVD or a Blu-ray or a physical copy of something instead of streaming it. Support. Yeah, that's my recommendation. Without internet. What about you? Any recommendations?
I was gonna go around the same thing. I think instead of having to order everything off at Amazon or expect it to get shipped to your house, make a day of it. Take a shower, put on some nice clothes, pick a place to go for lunch, and then just go buy whatever you need to do locally, from a store or whatever like that. You'll definitely appreciate the day. You get to go out and enjoy the sun, get some fresh air, do what you need to do instead of just ordering it from your phone like we normally would nowadays. I would say that's probably my recommendation to do.
I was just checking out my facial hair here.
Looking good.
All right. Well then. Another episode, man. Another
yeah.
week, another episode. Tune in next week where we don't know what we're gonna do yet, but we'll let you know. That's the blank, baby. We're just solving puzzles one day at a time. Well, that being said, I'm Carlos,
And I'm Ryan.
and this is the blank with Carlos and Ryan. Get vaccinated and fill it in.
Peace.
Stay safe.